Newsweek magazine. Our distinguished guest for this evening is the Honorable Estes Kefauver, United States Senator from Tennessee. The opinions expressed are necessarily those of the speakers.
Senator Kefauver, the members of our chronoscope audience, of course, remember you, sir, from your sensational crime investigations. They know that you are the vigorous Tennessean who now aspires to the Democratic nomination for the presidency. And tonight our audience will appreciate the views on some of your political views. Now, sir, if you are running for the Democratic nomination, what is your present criticism, or what is your principal criticism of the Democratic administration that now exists?
Well, Mr. Huey, I think I may make this very clear in the beginning that I'm running on my own. I think that we have had two great and fine Democratic administrations. I have supported the foreign policy and the economic and social program of both President Roosevelt and President Truman.
You're a new dealer and a fair dealer.
Well, I don't classify myself as on the dealers. I believe in progress, and if you want to say a new dealer or a fair dealer, I believe that the American people have made great advancement both in our foreign policy and in our domestic policy under the last two Democratic administrations. You want to know why I'm running for president? I feel that, of course, every American boy aspires to run. I want to do what I can to see that we continue on with an aggressive foreign policy, that we do not abandon our place of leadership in the world. Also, I'm very much interested in seeing that we continue to have our social and economic gains. I do want to place additional emphasis upon the necessity of taking affirmative action in the effort against corruption. I want us to see the federal government taking a more leading part, both Congress and the executive department, and leadership in that respect.
But in the main...
Also, I feel that we must get on a sounder financial basis, that we cannot go on year after year on basis of deficit financing. And I think, Mr. Huey, that there's room for youth. I don't call myself young because I'm not, as you know, but I think there's room for new ideas and younger people in both of our political parties.
Well, Senator, I take it then that if there are two issues between you and the President, one of them is that you don't feel that there has been sufficiently drastic dealing with the corruption issue or sufficiently adequate dealing with it, and that you are a little worried about the spending program. Would those be your
Mr.
two principal
I think in fairness we should say that a great deal has been done, I think, both in government and out in this effort. But I think in Congress and in the executive department and in our country generally, at all levels of government, that we ought to place more emphasis upon the effort against the racketeer and the wrongdoer, because, of course, I have had a more intimate familiarity with the condition in the country today than perhaps some other people. So it does impress me as being something that we must take constant action all along the line and at every level of government and among our people.
Well, do you think that is the leading issue, as you would see it?
I'm not trying to draw issues. I'm not trying to draw issues between Mr. Truman and myself, or between anyone else and myself. I'm running because I feel that I have the qualifications, that I've had the experience, and that I have the ideas for the future of America which the American people want and which will appeal to the voters of America.
Well, Senator...
But, of course, there are differences, as you have pointed out.
On basic philosophy, though, you are, since our people must make some choices in 1952, on basic philosophy, you approve most of what was done domestically and in foreign policy in the Roosevelt administrations and also in the Truman administration.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Huey.
And as a political figure, you want to extend the philosophy of the Roosevelt and Truman administrations.
Generally, that's true, and I want to see them carried on vigorously. I think I do have some minor points of difference as to our foreign policy, but I think that we have done well in maintaining and carrying out our position of leadership in the world in the interest of peace.
You are not a
I think
critic.
that we did I think in the United Nations and in the Atlantic Pact that we have done things that were necessary along that line.
And you are not